Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the kickoff meeting for the mobile app development. Today, I will be presenting this kickoff deck. Let me get started. So the agenda of today's meeting will be the project overview. I'll go over the project overview followed by the team structure which we have identified so far. I'll also discuss about the scope of the project, any expectations and dependencies which we have identified so far from our end. Communication and escalation plans also will be covered along with the project tools. For the members who have newly joined the team, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the current project, and from then onwards we can get started. Coming to the Partech is a courier management system, and they provide logistics services for drivers and couriers who are picking up specimens from laboratories. Say suppose there's an hospital or a lab and they want to transfer the specimen to another hospital or another lab. Partech provides the logistics and API, the app for those services, so that the drivers or couriers can pick those specimens and can deliver it to the right location. So the tracking services will be provided by the Partech. Partech is currently looking for an app development to enable and to communicate with Partech's drivers or couriers. To enable it, Rapid Value Solutions have agreed to develop an app for this particular courier module. And the app will have the following features, which is the courier scheduling, route management, will be provided in the app. We also have a supply tracking and a specimen reconciliation and reporting. All of these features will basically about directing the driver or the courier where to pick up, and it will be tracking the package once it's picked up, and during the delivery all the confirmations of the delivery will be handled by the app, including taking the signature and screenshots. Coming to the team structure, from the Partech, we have Stacy Peeler, who she's also on the call. She's the main project sponsor and the main project owner for this particular project, and all the requirements and the business technical knowledge will be all the questions will be addressed to Stacy. Coming to the technical experts from the Partech, we have Ben Gowda, who is also on the call, and any API questions or backend and infrastructure questions will be addressed to Ben. From Rapid Value team, we have Naveen Chintakunta, who is the engagement manager for this particular engagement, and we have yours truly. I'll be acting as a project coordinator and a business analyst for this particular project. Coming to the Rapid Value team, we have so far identified, apart from me, Shanlal, who will be the tech architect, who will be working from India, and I'll be working from on-site and from the Partech's office. The rest of the development team are yet to be identified. Once the requirements are finalized and we have a thorough understanding, we will identify and communicate the same to everybody on the team. Coming to the scope overview of the particular project, so we have following features, which is ability for the courier to schedule his jobs, and all the information whatever the courier is doing will be captured in real time, and based on that information, reports and analytics will be generated from the backend system. Tracking and supply deliveries, any supply delivery which is being picked up, and during the delivery also all those specimen pickups, all the proof of pickups when the driver has to get a signature or take a screenshot, or when the driver has to communicate this information back to the API, all of this information will be part of the current mobile app. Also, quick note, when I mention a driver, both courier or a driver are people who will be actually picking up specimens at a laboratories and delivering those specimens at another laboratory. The term courier or driver is used interchangeably in the documentation. Coming to the activity scope, we will begin with requirement gathering phase, which from henceforth, from today onwards, we will start that, and from 1 month from now, once 3 to 4 weeks depending on the requirements, we will finalize the UI framework and UI branding, and will be all those mockups will be submitted for review. Once we have a sign off on those reviews, we will start with sprint planning and grooming. Currently, based on our understanding, we are expecting 3 to 5 months of sprint development. Once the development activity is done, we'll transfer for acceptance testing, which we will provide 2 weeks of support after that handover. Coming to the expectancies and dependencies which we have identified, since the current mobile app is developed by the rapid value solutions, but the data is obtained from the backend services. So we have a very important dependency, which is access to APIs, so that the app can get the data from the backend. Apart from the API and infrastructure access, which I believe Ben Goda will be able to help us with, we also have questions in regards to the requirements and design finalization of the UI mockups. Both of those will be coordinated with Stacy, and once in 2 weeks time, once we have a good understanding of the requirements, we will submit the UI mockups for review, and in that review if any changes will be accommodated. But once after a 4 week or finalization of the UI mockups, any more minor changes will be accommodated, but any major changes we need a sign off from Naveen and as well as Stacy. I'll quickly go over the table here. We so participation is very important for us, and especially this participation time will be very high during the first initial 4 weeks, and later on it will be a weekly based participation. We need the branding guidelines and specifications, which is currently used by the Partech, and of course we need the hardware and software infrastructure setup to the current system, so that we can plan the integration of the newly developed app. Sorry there. Coming to the requirement doc and mock sign-offs, as mentioned before, I'll submit them once at the end of the 4 week period, and we can have a sign-off based on that. Whenever we have any clarifications, we'll set up a call based on the need, and once the UAT is complete, we'll also have a quick call for the summary of the project. Coming to the communication plan, we will have a status meeting daily. It's going to be a 15 minutes meeting to just go over the current status of the project, and on a day-to-day basis, and all stakeholders, if present, will be most appreciated, so that any questions can be resolved during the meeting. Apart from that, we'll have a weekly executive meeting where we'll submit the status of the project to all members involved, and whenever there are any clarifications are needed, we'll have set up clarification meetings then and there. During the development phase, once the sprint development is done, we'll have a weekly demo meeting on Fridays, end of the sprint, and this demo meeting should last between an hour or less than an hour. We'll display all the particular development which was done in the sprint and capture any feedback comments. Reviews and sign-offs, as and when needed, I'll send out mails so that the stakeholders can review the content and sign off on those deliverables. Coming to the escalation path, so most of the things, whenever you have any questions, any concerns regarding the project, the first level of escalation will be me, and you can always approach me at any time. Both my email and mobile numbers are there, and 99% of them should be resolved by me. If for some reason, if you think it is not being resolved in a timely fashion, you can always escalate to my manager, who is Naveen Chantakunta, and he's also there on the call right now, and he will resolve any issues concerning the engagement problems. And if it still doesn't get resolved from there onwards, we can always approach Stan Mike, who is our CTO, and I'm sure we will not go there, and we will make sure that we'll coordinate and ensure all the problems are resolved at a sooner or a lower level phase. Coming to the project tools which we intend to use, we are basically planning to use Jira for the mobile user story creation, and we'll use iOS platform and Android platform for the app development. Once we have an understanding of your infrastructure, I'll share the exact versions and softwares. Apart from that, we have a daily format of the status report, and I will share those formats at the end of the meeting once this is done, and we can review and make changes as and when necessary. So I'm very glad that we all came together, and we'll be able to kick off this meeting, and we very much look forward to working with Partech and to develop this app and get it go live as soon as possible. If there are any questions, you can always go ahead right now, or reach out to me in the mail or mobile number. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.